This is Risky Women Radio, a show that connects, celebrates and champions women in risk, regulation and compliance. We're here to share the insights on the biggest issues in our industry and hear inspiring journeys from our global members. Sign up to our newsletter at riskywomen.org. I'm Kimberly Cole, your Chief Risky Woman.
Welcome to Risky Woman Radio. My name is Cristina Piano, Managing Director from Protivity, and I am truly delighted to be here today. It is my pleasure to welcome a special guest, someone I've known both as a friend and as a professional peer. She's Laura Ferrara, Global Chief Internal Audit and Risk Management Officer at Amplifon Group. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you, Christina.
Your career journey has been truly inspiring. Could you share what happened after university days?
Absolutely. After starting my career at PwC, external audit firm, then I joined Telecom Italia in the telecommunications sector. And then in 2005, I joined Edison, a global key player in the energy sector. Following Edison's acquisition by EDF, Électricité de France, the leader in the nuclear energy, I moved to Paris to lead international international internal audit project. Then in 2015, I turned to Italy and to Trenord in the railway sector. And since early 2021, have been proud to take on my current role at Amplifon.
Laura, as I know you're passionate about your work, and I believe that most of the people who will be listening to this podcast would love to hear something about you before professionally in terms of your personal life. Can you share something?
Yes. So what can I say? I'm Italian. I live in Milan.
And we're recording this session from Italy.
Yes.
Laura, thank you for sharing. Let's talk a little bit about Amplifon, which is a very important group and very well known in Italy. Not sure how known it is worldwide. Can you give us some context?
Yes, of course. Amplifon is the world leader in hearing care, and it operates in 26 countries through three key regions: EMEA, the Americas, and APAC. Our business is centered on a robust network of clinics and franchisees. What truly characterizes us is the high standard of our care provided by the hearing care professional. They are committed to delivering the best solution for our customers. And it's not simply about selling products, it's about changing lives of our customers through an expert service and care. Miracle Ear is the brand through which Amplifon operates in the United States retail market through clinics and both clinics and franchisees. With a network of more than 1,500 clinics across the country, Miracle Ear is widely recognized as one of the most trusted and established hearing care brands in the United States. It's a key part of our global strategy, combining innovation, customer care, and accessibility to our customer to make a difference in people's lives, creating a unique service for them.
Of course, you mentioned Miracle Ear, so people listen to this podcast in US probably recall the brand. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of complexity going on in Amplifon, which may be even greater than the revenue size of the group might suggest. So how complex is Amplifon?
Amplifon is far more complex than its revenue might suggest. Our business is a complex business that is operating at the intersection of global demand, hearing care regulation.
It's a regulated business.
Yes, industry, and technological-driven retail. Each of these brings a set of challenges for us, from compliance to innovation, from a local market dynamic to global strategy. So it's extremely important that at the same time, our risk management system must be just as agile, sophisticated, and integrated.
And having in mind the customer experience, I believe.
Of course.
To change lives.
This episode is brought to you by Protivity. Protivity is a global consulting firm with deep expertise in transformation, risk management, and compliance. Partner with Protivity.
Okay. Let's talk a little the business challenges. I've heard you've always told me that Amplifon is highly committed to diversity. Can you share something?
Sure. At Amplifon, we firmly believe that diversity is the key driver of growth and innovation. We embrace different backgrounds, experiences, perspectives across our global teams. Over 70% of our workforce are women, and the average age is below 40.
So you're over average.
I'm a little bit over, not too much. And this can reflect a youthful and dynamic environment and culture in our company. We foster equity, inclusion, belonging to our policy. And we invest in bias-free training because we truly believe that when every voice is heard, we can amplify our impact.
Impressive. Now, let's go back to risk management, which is something I believe everybody's pretty much interested in understanding. In Italy, you are known as a hands-on and very transparent professional. How do you lead risk management process in Amplifon?
To tell you the truth, our risk management process is genuinely engaging, collaborative, and proactive. From my point of view, risk management can't be just a once-a-year exercise, rather than a continuous journey. My team, together with leaders across the business, are deeply involved in our process, dedicated several months annually to this process. We engage leaders both at corporate and at country level because we believe that accurate insight don't come from dashboards alone. Instead, they come from frank speaking, frank conversation, face-to-face meeting, dynamic workshop, and I personally attend this meeting, participate to this session, because combining, building a relationship, building confidence, and at the same time sharing perspective is invaluable.
So indeed, hands-on.
Yes. Integrated is our guiding principle. Risk management is embedded into every facet of the business, and it promotes long-term sustainable purposes, a culture of dialogue, and strategic partnership. In this context, integrated risk management system, together with a bottom-up risk assessment approach, are essential. They can help us build solid resilience, and they can help us maintain an agile approach to the change, to managing the change.
To everyday change.
That
everyday change where every day.
Risk management in this context is not just a traditional analyst. It's like a connector. It brings together different departments, creates a unique vision, an integrated outlook, and then provide the different stakeholders, for example, boards, with comprehensive, integrated, and timely updates about the main risk factors across different time horizons.
So here the key word is engaging everybody.
Yes,
right?
Engaging everybody. both at corporate and at country level.
That's very interesting. Now, Amplifon is a pretty much mature environment in terms of risk management. You've got process, you've got people, you've got engagement. Now, not everybody is at the same level. Not every group, but not in Italy, I believe, not even all around the world. So not everybody is that mature in process, is they're advanced in the process. Let's think about those who are not that mature. And what would you say to those organizations that haven't fully embraced risk management yet? Why should they invest in it?
From my point of view, investing in risk management is like setting up, installing state-of-art navigation system. It doesn't just help you to avoid obstacles. It guides you toward opportunities with a greater speed and clarity. Companies that embrace risk management strategically don't just protect their value, they enhance it. Several companies are able to transform, to turn potential threat into growth levers by adopting tools that are useful to detect, to anticipate, and to manage the change of the landscape, of the context, on all the situations that you can find.
So risk management in terms of opportunity management.
Yes. In this particular context, neglecting risk management is like sailing without a compass. It can work for a while, but it's not sustainable in the long run.
What do we need to expect? Which are the risks to be aware of from looking ahead?
As I already said, our world is a fast changing world. So the situation, the uncertainty of the situation is difficult at this stage to assess. For sure, we have to consider the macroeconomic context and the geopolitical context that are impacted all the countries in all the regions where Amplifon operates. So to tell the truth, in my job, is extremely important. Create a good relationship with our regulatory team in order to be always updated about the news in all the countries where we operate. And at the same time, as I said, for all the risk professional, be updated about global and local news in order to be able to adapt and to anticipate every effect that we could have.
And I believe that time is a game changer. Change is quick.
Timely
It's
way.
never been so quick.
Yes.
Right.
I think the right word is to be agile.
We need to be agile to survive into a changing world.
In a fast changing world.
Right. But what advice would you offer to aspiring risky women and or anyone who indeed would like to build his or her future in risk management?
As you know, to tell the truth, my advice applies to all risk professionals, regardless of gender. The days of managing behind closed doors are long gone. Right. My suggestion is to stay alert to what's happening internally and what is changing outside your organization, and invest in yourself. Make it a habit to stay informed, to consult different viewpoints, to stay up to date with global and local news, and to engage in strategic conversation with executives. The only way to remain relevant and to provide added value is by being proactive, informed, and always ready for the unexpected. From my point of view, continuous learning and open dialogue are essential in our fast-changing world.
So this is your piece of advice.
Yes.
Well, luck to all those engaging in this profession. So, Laura.
Thank you, Christina.
No, I thank you. I thank you for these, for sharing so much of yourself and of your experience, and for the courage of having this podcast recorded.
It was a pleasure.
It's been very interesting. It's been, I hope, interesting also for those listening, and hope to see you soon again.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, and bye-bye.
And thank you as well for Risky Woman for hosting this episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Risky Women Radio. Be part of the ongoing conversation and learn more about our events and other programs at riskywomen.org.